I recently have been pulled into the same consciousness that also Bashar is a part of. Like, I'm channeling another, like, two extraterrestrial beings that, like, one is in Pleiadian and one is part of the same group that Bashar is a part of, or that Bashar communicates with telepathically. And I recently have been pulled into their consciousness. And now I kind of feel like I want to share about this experience to, well, it's a great way to illustrate that it's like safe to communicate with them. And it's also a good way to say how they see the world. So a little bit of context, just I asked for help just into the spirit world. I already got help from other beings. I couldn't, like, I wanted to release a pattern, the worry pattern, and I couldn't really do it on my own. I had a hard time doing it on my own. So I asked for help, and that's why I actually was pulled into their consciousness, that because they offered to help me. I didn't know that at the beginning when I was pulled into their consciousness. And so every being is helping in a different way, and that's their way of helping, because maybe all-knowing is the wrong word, but it's kind of feels like it when I was in their consciousness. So I'm kind of like noticed that, like, kind of being called from the one that I'm usually channeling, and I'm being pulled into there. I just like being pulled to him, kind of, and he kind of tells me to come with him. And I'm like, okay. He was kind of the doorway to get into, like, they welcomed me to be in their consciousness. And I really want to try to explain how this felt. Just imagine, imagine the scene, like you being in the kitchen, the radio's playing in the background, and like maybe your child is watching something on a tablet. So you can consciously choose to listen to the radio or to listen to the tablet. Like, both are playing kind of in the background. You don't really have to listen to it. But it's always there. You can always choose to listen to it. You can always choose to listen to just focus on the radio or just focus on the video that is playing. You can choose between these, but they are always there. Like, you don't have to switch it on, kind of. And just imagine, like, having hundreds of radios playing at the same time. You don't have to choose to listen to one of the radios, but they are always kind of playing in the background. They are always there. And by the way, I probably only perceive 1% of what's actually going on, because for me as a human, that was already like, whew, so much energy. I'm like, oh, wow. Actually, when I was in there, I was like, oh, wow. My first thought. I actually perceived it like an image, not really clearly, but like white beings all around me, like kind of everything. But I also felt the energy, not only the image. But I was in there, as I was in there, I had this thought of like, oh, when I'm in here, I could also talk to Bashar, because, well, I know him because I know his videos online. And I just had this thought, and like, it really felt like him coming towards me, like really, like kind of really in my face. Just imagine some human running towards you within seconds. No, that's too long. It's actually shorter than it. Like, just in an instant, like right in front of your face, really like, I'm like, I kind of was a little bit in a shock. I didn't know how this works, right? I've never been there. And like, and I only go like, oh, never mind, it's too much. Because I'm used to his energy, I guess. I kind of perceived it like a lot, like more clearly. And like really it really felt this like in your face kind of stuff. And so I did not talk to him because his energy was too much to handle for me right in that moment. And well, he just kind of pulled back and went back into the group of consciousness. So kind of like being somewhere like I choose to listen to one of the radios and then I didn't listen anymore. And I just went back to my personal guide, the one I'm channeling. And he actually led me to, they wanted to show me something. He actually showed me a scene from one of my ancestors. It was really kind of a horror scenario. I saw him like bawling his eyes out and like kind of in a war scene. And I don't want to go into the details here, but they just wanted to let me know that this energy, that this little child, like he was traumatized for life. I could clearly see that. But that energy was still running in my field. Maybe a little bit, like I was working on releasing it obviously, but it's not it's not the easiest thing for me to do. Because it really was a lot for that little guy. And he passed on that trauma through several generations. I definitely know it wasn't one of my grandparents. Like, it was already before that. I know that. But it wasn't important to know who exactly it was. I just know it wasn't one of my grandparents. So the energy is already running for like quite a while in my family. And so, yeah, that's probably also, that gave me a little bit of hard time to release it. But I had made a lot of progress. I know I did make one quantum jump after that. And yeah, they just wanted to show me this. That's why I was in their consciousness. And as soon as I understood the whole scenario, I was just going back to wherever I was channeling from. So I went out of their consciousness. But yeah, I just really felt like sharing this to illustrate it's kind of easy to communicate if you have that first contact. If I for me it is where I can call them, but they can also call me, obviously. They are really here to help us. If you ask for help, the help will be given to you. But don't think attached to it too much, like it has to happen a certain way. Every being helps differently. Their way of helping is showing you, letting you know things to open your perception. And for me also, they help me rise my frequency, because with a higher frequency it's easier to let go of stuff. And yeah, it's just safe to communicate with them because they are us and we are them.